McKenna here, and welcome back to my knitting podcast. Laundry, of course, is going again. But I figured I could sneak in a quick video real quick. Family's upstairs watching a movie, so I'm gonna be down here and look super pale. Last week, kids started school, I started work again. So far so good. We'll see how that goes. My kids are very excited. They're very excited to start school. So excited that they were way early, or I should say earlier than their alarms. They were already up and dressed and ready, which was funny because now with the new school we start a little bit later in the day. They were ready to go, and I felt bad because I had to tell them that they still had an hour to go before school started, so they were a little upset about that, but it's actually really nice. We have time to just take it slow in the mornings and get ready, and you know, because we're still waking up roughly the same time we were for last year. It gives us more time to get ready. It doesn't have to be rushed. Last year we were rushed every single morning. This is much nicer. Work is good. It's hard in the sense of every time I look at the kids from last year, all I can think of them is being in their grade that they were last year. So I keep getting confused at what grade I am currently, like at that time, like supervising. But I know I'll get there. Other than that, you know, everything is good so far. It's just been, well, it was just 2 days last week for me, 3 days for the kids. So, but anyways, you can see here on my lovely little mannequin, I've been going crazy on this cardigan that I'm working on. I actually had, I don't know if you can see, this sleeve, I actually had it all the way down to the cuff, but it ended up being too short. And the only reason was because I was trying to match up the colors on the sleeve to the colors on the body, and it just ended up being like right here. And so I was trying to like fudge with my cuff. Like I think I knit the cuff twice, two different ways to see how I liked it, and I just didn't, because it was stopping right here, and this is going to be an oversized cardigan, so I want the sleeves to stop maybe mid-hand. So I had to rip it back out and do a little bit of math to figure out how much more I wanted to add to each color to give me possibly where I wanted to end. So once I ripped it back, I added a little bit more to the blue, which I think you can see with this line right here. That might be, no, that's just me rowing out right there. Or actually, you know what, that's where I picked it back up. Once it's blocked, hopefully that will go away. And then so I added a little bit extra blue, and then I started back in with the green, and then I needed a break from this since I've been going ham on it so hard. I needed a bit of a break. I even tried like steam blocking to see how much this will grow. I don't think it's helping me see, because this is a non-superwash DK yarn, and I don't use non-superwash very often, so I'm not sure of how it grows, you know, when it comes to blocking and stuff like that. With superwash, I know that I'm gonna get at least an inch more if I, you know, it could be more if I try really hard. But so yeah, this is where we're at. I'm thinking about picking it back up today and going ahead and trying to get this sleeve further along. So I would like to get this closer to finished before the new Andrea Mowry knit along. Well, it's not a knit along by her. It's a knit along by, is it Spin Cycle or is it Magpie Fibers? I can't remember which one is hosting, but I'd like to get at least knitting done on this before the cal starts. For the Alpenglow sweater, you know, I can take my time writing the pattern for this. I am taking notes as I go, so hopefully the writing portion won't be difficult. It'll just be the numbers. But yep, all my yarn again. Still a little bit curious on the name. Let's see. So I started writing, like I was taking notes on my phone for a while, and I just was struggling with that. So I figured I'd start writing notes here in this notebook I have. I think I wrote down Floral Rainbow Cardi. So I'll have to do some research to see if there's any other cardigans named that. If there's not, then maybe that will be a good name. I kind of like the way that rings. But yeah, this is where we're at. I have not done much else knitting wise this past week. Oh shoot, I left a project upstairs that I think I did work on this week. Oh well. It was my mitten, my Game of Thrones mitten. I did another section on it and was able to finish the word fire on the palm, and then obviously whatever more of the dragon. It's my Game of Thrones mittens by, I don't know who. I'm sorry, I'll have to show you again next week. I only worked one day on it, even though it's a wipgo for this month. I need to work another 6 days on it, so I need to pick that up too. So that's easier when I can just sit quietly and watch a little bit of YouTube and not have family distracting me. What else? Okay, so yesterday, this is just yesterday, I worked a little bit on these. I have these tube socks that I cranked on my Dean & Bean sock machine a while back. And I had split it and added cuffs and toes, the cuff and the toe on one sock, and then I had the cuff, and I had the cuff and half of the toe finished on the other one. So last night I was like, okay, well let's just pick up it and finish that toe. So I did, and I went ahead and cut in for the heel. So I'm adding that in. I'm just being slow. I really just need to get it done. I could finish this in a day if I wanted to. I'm just lazy, really. But get that finished and have that off my whip list, which would be nice. Have one less thing. Again, this one's super easy though, so it's just a matter of getting it done. I've also been working on my what is it called? What is it called? The Half and Half Triangles Wrap by Purl Soho. I always forget to show you guys in these videos, but really it's barely anything at most. I keep that project in my purse, and I'll work on that when we were going to the pool for the summer. That's when I worked on it. And it's been kind of like, if we have a more long distance car ride, then I'll pull it out and work on it. And I worked on it a bit yesterday, but again, I forget to pull it out of my purse to show you guys, and it's only like this much at a time. So, but I'm using the linen quill by Purl Soho, and it's in a purple mauve color, and then I only have maybe this much knit on it. It's so big. Half and Half Triangle Wrap. So many people are knitting that, so I plan to maybe show you guys the progress when I have a bigger chunk of it finished. It's really slow going. And that's really all that I worked on. I did knit a swatch for the Alpenglow, just for color wise, and I really am just gonna go with, I ripped out the swatch already because I don't want to cut, because it is that spin cycle, and I was testing all the colors together, so I didn't want to cut anything, you know, so I make sure I have enough, because spin cycle is definitely hard to, or it's expensive. I wouldn't say it's hard to get, but it's definitely expensive. I'm not going to buy another skein of it if I only need, like, you know, a certain amount. So I'm gonna, it's precious. So I didn't even wind these two up to test swatch. I think I'll just save these and knit these into something else at a later time. A hat maybe? Maybe I can do a Everyday Slouchy Beanie by Tristan. Oh, I don't know what her last name is, but it's Tristan of Dragon Horde Yarns. Maybe I'll make another Everyday Slouchy Beanie with this. I'll just make sure to make it bigger than my first one because that one is way too tight, and then the mohair is super itchy on my forehead. But these would look cute together, held together maybe. So yeah, I didn't even bother with those. And then the only other thing was I knit this swatch, which also doubles as a pocket for a different project. I get emails from who? The Woolly Thistle. I get emails from them, and it was for I guess they're doing a knit along soon, but you have to use yarn from them in the knit along. Anyway, so I just kind of like, I clicked on the email just to read the information, and then like kits came up or something like that. I can't remember. And I saw this sweater from Ozetta, which is a new designer to me. I've heard a few people mention that designer recently, like very recently. So I have barely any knowledge of this designer, but Ozetta, I believe it is, because I'm not looking at it currently. But the Woolly Thistle had a kit for the Miles shirt jacket, which was super cute. It's a cardigan, but it looks like, the way that it is constructed, it looks like a flannel jacket, like a flannel shirt jacket type thing, which is, I want one. I have a flannel one with Sherpa inside that I absolutely love, but the outside of it is like a traditional plaid where it's mostly white with some red and a little bit of blue striping. I really, really love it, and I wear it a lot in the fall, the winter on warmer days, and the cool spring days. I really love it, but I've been wanting something like black so that I can wear it with everything. When, oh my god, Knitwear by Joan designed her Teddy Zip Up, or Teddy Zip, I think it's called. I really like that because it is a jacket-esque sweater. The only thing that makes, well, there's two things. There is an installed zipper, so that's a little nerve-wracking. The pockets look like they might be difficult because they're pockets where you put your hands in this way on the side instead of this way. And I think they are like, they're hidden pockets with, and then it's also, I think it is you hold two strands together. One is a worsted weight and the other one is drops, oh my gosh, it drops alpaca. How do you pronounce this word? I can't even pronounce the word. I'll put it here. It's that type of yarn with the little loops and stuff like that. I looked it up to see where I could find it the cheapest, and it's still not going to be that cheap for me, for my size, for all the yarn that I would need to make that jacket. So I was like, wow, that'll have to wait some time because I really don't want to buy more yarn right now. So when I looked up, or when I was looking at the Miles shirt jacket and the yarn that was in that kit, it was an unspun yarn. An unspun yarn like Plauta-Lupi. Yeah, Plauta-Lupi. It's just like that, except for, I forget what the brand of yarn that was, and it was, their plates were actually two strands already put together. And so the kit was like $100 for my size, which wasn't terrible, but I didn't like the color. Black was not one of the colors. Well, I have Plauta-Lupi in my stash. I purchased this from Alafoss in Iceland. I purchased this directly from them last summer, I believe. I have either 4 or 6 of these cakes. And then I have one white cake. I had planned to, well, I don't know if it would have worked, but I had planned to use this for is it Jennifer Steingast, I think. So I had planned to use this for one of the sweaters that I have, you know, patterns by her. Granted, I hadn't looked deep into the pattern, so I don't know if this needed to be held double for that pattern. If so, I wouldn't have had enough anyways, but that idea was a long time ago. I don't even know if I want to knit that sweater anymore. If I do, I can always just buy more at a different time and in a different color. So I was like, okay, we'll use this. I don't have enough in my stash, so I did order 2 more plates from Yarn Harbor, Duluth. And that should be here tomorrow. But yes, I'm holding this, I held it double to make this swatch. The pattern says to use one of the pockets as like a swatch. So this is the most legitimate swatch I've ever made in my life. Seriously, the most legitimate. I am not on gauge at all. I don't understand, because when I count my row gauge, I have less rows than she calls for, but my square is, I think, a ½ an inch bigger than what was mentioned in the pattern. So that doesn't make any sense if I have more rows per inch, because I did the amount of that's called for. Like, I followed the pattern. I have one less row than what was called for to knit, and it's still bigger than what is recommended. I think even with the ribbing at the top, you're supposed to be a 7.5 inch from top to bottom. This is 8 inches. I don't know what happened there. And I have less stitches with the called for needle per 4 inches. So I figured I could just make I might just make a smaller size, but I'm also debating on making a second pocket and going down 1 needle size just to see what the fabric's like, because this one is, well, it's not like, it's a little see-through. It's definitely a little loose. I want this to be a little bit tighter so it's warmer. Granted, it's Lotta loopy. It's gonna be very warm, I think. So she says to do a tubular bind off at the top. That's very hard to do with Lotta loopy. It kept breaking. It was such a struggle. It just kept breaking and breaking and breaking, and kept trying to put it back together, spit splicing it, and it just wasn't working. So luckily I had made a long enough one where where it broke, I was able to just use the rest of that to finish. But it's not fun. Yeah, so you can see it's a little bit see-through-y. So I'm gonna go down 1 needle size, make the second pocket, and see how it goes from there. And then if it's better than this one, then I don't know if I can rip this out without it breaking apart. Plus I've really woven that end. I shouldn't have done that. But we will see what I can do with this. If just depends. So this isn't the black, it's like a heathered black, as you can tell. I like that, because then it gives it more, I don't know, to me it just looks really, really nice. So yeah, I'm wanting to start that soon as well. So I have the Alpenglow that I'm going to start, I think it's August 22nd. This shirt jacket I would really love to start because I want to wear it this fall. I know that's not gonna happen. Obviously I still have this lovely hat to cast on. I have those mittens to finish. I want to get this finished while also continuing to work on a tune shawl, which I haven't touched at all this past week, and the rocket tee, I haven't touched that at all this week as well. The half and half triangle wrap, I gotta get those mittens at least a week done. I mean, I want it finished, but it's probably not gonna happen right away. So yeah, I have a lot on my plate. I really do, unfortunately. So, I have no acquisitions at all. Nothing. Excuse me. Again, I just have that 2 more plates of Lotta coming, and I'm hoping. I think that was enough for me, for my size, if I were to do the medium size, unless I'm going down a size. But again, if not, I can always order more. I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, that's it. That's really it for right now. I've been thinking lately how I haven't been really needing to purchase yarn, and I really don't. I'm excited to start doing more with my stash, using what I have in stash if possible. So yeah, that's really it, guys. Again, so I don't know if I'm going to do that swatch first or if I'm going to pick this up. Maybe I'll do the swatch since it's just a square and it goes pretty quickly. And then work on this for the rest of the evening and get that sleeve further along. I'd say get the sleeve done because it's pretty easy, but it's already 2:30 in the afternoon and I still have to finish laundry and figure out dinner for the kids. Anyways, I appreciate you guys stopping by. This video was definitely possibly a bit rushed or just possibly a bit random. There hasn't been a lot going on. Like, I haven't changed my projects quite often this week, so there wasn't a lot to show and just been pretty busy. So we are finding our new rhythm. That is what is happening here. So I'll let you guys go. I hope you have a good rest of your day whenever you are watching this, and I'll talk to you next week.